In this video, we'll show you how we replace these two bathroom sinks. So these two bathroom sinks came with the house when it was built some 20 years ago, and unfortunately the one on the left rusted out underneath and began leaking. The first step is to turn off the water supply to the faucet and undo those flexible hoses. This is a lot easier with an adjustable crescent wrench, but this is the only wrench we had on hand at the time. Unless you want to get water everywhere, I'd recommend having a bowl or some kind of pan underneath. In this case, we used a paint roller tray. Next, we loosened the connection between the sink drain and the P-trap, and then undid the screws to remove the sink clips, which help hold it down to the counter. I tried to pull out the sink by the faucet, but it was still stuck with some sealant. So Steve took a box cutter and cut around the edge of the sink, and was able to push it up from below and separate it from the counter. Nicely done!
Oh, there. Ew!
What? In the pipe?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't film that part.
This is just a glob of hair hanging out.
Then we removed the flexible hoses from the old faucet and cleaned up the old sealant off the counter with a box knife. Here's the new sink and the new faucet that we'll be installing. And this new faucet comes with a drain for the sink. So with the new sink out of the box and on the counter, we installed the new sink drain. This one comes with a rubber washer, so you don't need any plumber's putty, and you can simply push it down into the hole, flip over the sink, and tighten this big plastic nut. And make sure this tapered washer here is tapered towards the bottom of the sink. And this type of sink drain doesn't require that pull rod and lever. You can just block and unblock it by pressing down on it. So with this centered in the hole, we cannot get this cemented together ABS P-trap to line up with the drain of the sink. So we're gonna have to cut all this out and put in a new P-trap that's more adjustable. So we'll take this the rest of the way out. See, that's glued in, so we're gonna have to cut that. Once we cut this off with a hacksaw, we tried to make the end as straight and smooth as possible with a file, and then even chamfered that outer edge. And that's also fit together nicely with our new P-trap. So we can do something like that. Good to always test before we put it in. Here's the cement to glue these ABS pieces together. These are so hard to open, I had to use this setup to even crack it. And unlike PVC pipes, ABS appears to just have a cement and no primer. So put one layer of cement on the pipe, one in the fitting, and then a second layer on the pipe. Immediately, you want to push the fitting on with a quarter turn to help spread that cement, and then hold it for 30 seconds to make sure it doesn't pop back off. Ooh! Yeah, it's fumey. So that's all cured. The instructions for this particular faucet say to apply a bead of silicone sealant in the groove of this plastic gasket and then press it down onto the sink. I have installed other faucets that have more of a rubbery gasket that doesn't require that sealant, but this one does. This faucet also comes with these two plastic nuts that you simply tighten down onto those threaded pipes. If you have them on tight enough, it should hold the faucet in position really well. You can easily wipe away any excess sealant with some soapy water and your finger or a rag. With the faucet securely mounted, now it's time to connect those flexible hoses for the hot and cold water supply. An adjustable crescent wrench makes quick work of this job. Of course, if we were only replacing the faucet, we'd be having to do all this work from inside the cabinet. For positioning the sink, we found it easiest to put some pieces of tape around the hole in the counter at equal distances from the edge so we could better center the sink. Then we could adjust the sink until the gaps between the sink and the tape were all about equal, and then we measured from the backsplash to the faucet handles to try and make sure that this oval sink was aligned straight, which is surprisingly hard to do by eye with something that's oval like this. Once we were satisfied it was centered and straight, we moved the pieces of tape to be right up against the edge of the sink, added some additional pieces, and then drew a line with a Sharpie on the sink and onto the tape so we know exactly how it lines up. Then we pulled the sink out and applied a moderate bead of silicone sealant all around the perimeter of this hole. I kind of prefer those screws and brackets that we removed from the old sink, but this is much easier and what the instructions say for this new sink. With a good ring of silicone sealant in place, lower the sink into position carefully and press it down into position. And since we had the tape and those marks there, we could do this with confidence. Then simply remove the tape, wipe off the Sharpie marks, and wipe away the excess sealant. And there's the top side portion of the sink installation complete. Here's the P-trap kit in its packaging, and it being slid into position. You can see this kit has some red tapered O-rings, and you can see that we're pushing the tapered end into that larger diameter pipe, and then the nut pushes against the flat side of that O-ring to really push it in there and make a watertight seal. And you may be noticing right now there's a bit of a gap between the gray pipe of the sink drain and the P-trap. Yeah. So we had to go back to the hardware store and get this 16-inch double-ended extension tube and cut off a few inches we needed to fill this gap. That gray pipe coming from the sink is a smaller diameter than the P-trap, so we want to use this O-ring in making the connection. So slide on one of those pipe nuts and the O-ring with the tapered side down, and then the extension tube. And now with most of the pieces in place, we can play with all these joints in the P-trap to make these pipes line up, which is so much more flexible than those cemented together ABS pieces we started with. Boom. And that's looking good, but we forgot to put the next pipe nut and the next O-ring for this joint. Again, the taper goes down, and I think you can see how that's going to fit together nicely with that beveled edge of the pipe it fits into. Is it all the way down on that lower one? Yeah, looks like it. Oh, there you go. And now with all the pieces in place, we can start tightening up all these joints. And there's a P-trap installed, but not yet tested. We're almost at the end here as we reconnect these flexible pipes to the hot and cold water shutoff supply valves to the faucet. Make sure to tighten them down snugly with a tool like this crescent wrench. These valves were a bit stiff, so we used another wrench to open them back up. Before running your faucet for the first time, the instructions suggest removing this little aerator to make sure that any debris that might have been knocked loose in the valves and the hoses doesn't get stuck there. And here you can see it was a good call, as a bunch of little specks came out with the first blast of water. Then we reinstalled the aerator and had a working faucet. And a thorough look down below shows that the P-trap has no leaks at all. Overall, this wasn't too complicated of a project and it only took us a few hours. The only complication was that we had to cut off that old ABS piping and put in the new P-trap. And if you like videos like this, you might like this one here.